the love of my life. I gave you life. I sacrificed my form to mold you, created you in love or lust, desired, unaware, or disdain. You are here. I gave you life. Supplied my essence through generations, millennia for you and yours to be who you are. I, Mother Eve, transcend time, centuries, countries, continents, islands, languages, cultures, traditions, racism, and all the ways of your present world. I am in you. I am in all of you. The love of my life. I gave you life. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rajine. This is part 2 of E-Gene. So if you haven't seen part 1, I would recommend you watching that either right now or after you get done watching this video so you can see the whole process and the inspiration behind it. So here, this is just where we left off in the second video. I just started painting in the head and the body. Instead of giving her hair, I wanted to be creative and come up with a way of making a headscarf. So I just used the packing material that I had from the package and I just crumpled it up to what had like a texture of a headscarf. So I just painted it yellow because I was really feeling yellow this day. And then I'm taking like a little squeeze bottle that I had from like some salsa verde. I put in some leftover paint that I had laying around and some glitter to make like a pattern and to create like really cool texture. So like it's like a splatter kind of texture. So I wasn't mad at it. I liked it. Now here comes the fun part, the adornments. So I have this jewelry from Broken Waist Beads, and I don't even know where I don't even know if these shells are called, but I love them, and I don't even know where I got them. I just know when I break jewelry and beads, I just keep them laying around because I already know I'll just use them for a future project. So here, from the original drawing, I just added these shells because I already drew those in originally. And then I'm adding the small beads as like a ring adornment on her finger. So so if you're an artist, that's a great way of just like not having to go out back to the store to buy jewelry that you threw out. So I also have to keep stuff, you know, like my whole project is like from recycled materials. So here I use some faux dread hair that I try to do it with my own head and I end up messing it up. And I use that as pubic hair because in the original image she did have pubic hair, so I wanted to add that in as well. So that's a great way of just like reusing materials. And I used some beads that I got a few years back from another project for her waist beads. And then here I'm just going back in and painting the body. I really didn't show much of me painting the body since I wasn't really sure how I wanted to paint it in the first place. And I really love how the shadow and the shadings turned out, but the Mod Podge that I use as a sealer just totally erased all that work. So this was like totally for nothing. But now I know next time I do something like this to use Mr. Super Clear, which I actually did have before I add the Mod Podge to it, so I wouldn't lose all that definition and shading. So now I'm adding the lashes. I can't have a Rajine the Queen original piece without lashes. A lot of my other works have lashes on them. So like I said again, I'm using recycled lashes and some new lashes. I don't want to use all my lashes that I wear for projects, but I stack them up a little bit to, you know, really give her eyes something, I don't know, some volume, some oomph. You know, I was originally just gonna keep her eyes plain, but I thought it was missing something, so I just got some lashes real quick and glued them on. And then now I'm just going in with black paint to hide the hot glue, since hot glue is a nightmare to get out of hair, you know, or just like anything basically. And just covering up any other spots that I missed to cover up and make it black. And then now I'm finally, you know, adhering her, the face and everything to the canvas still after I did those little touch-ups. I'm just making sure to cover all my bases. And some people might be like, oh, you're using hot glue to, you know, make sure everything's secure. Well, yes, like I could use E6000, but I just feel like that doesn't work for me. And then it has a long curing time on top of it. So I feel like when I have done E6000 with these type of projects, it just never works. The stuff ends up falling off crazily enough. So I just use hot glue because I already know like hot glue is like my foundation, but then I use another sealer on top to make it set in stone. So I already know like I'm not gonna rely on hot glue to keep this piece secure and safe. I usually use Mod Podge, and I really want to use resin for this piece, but resin's very expensive, especially covering this size canvas. So I use Mod Podge, and I use a lot of it to make sure it'll stay put. So I'm just making sure I hit on my bases, and I actually ended up taking off the head because I hated how it looked. It looked like she had no neck. I don't know, it just looked funny to me. So in the next clip you'll see me because I actually Mod Podged it and everything. So I let it dry for a couple days, and I hung it up, and I realized, you know what, I really don't like the way it looks. So I actually took it down, ripped off the head, trying to avoid, you know, messing up the collage in the back, and actually moved her head off, and then like redid the beads that fell off or came off with the head. So I just couldn't stand the way it looked. I honestly couldn't. And I actually like the way it looks now, where it kind of looks like her head is floating. So after all that stuff you just saw, I redid this whole entire process. So this is me realizing I hate the way the neck looked, how it looked like she had no neck. So I literally ripped off her head and I'm reapplying the beads that came off with me ripping off her head from the body. And I just moved it up a little bit because I just cannot stand the way it looked. I just thought it looked so weird. And I kind of like the floating head look. It gives it a more ethereal vibe. Um, my sister said her head is not proportionate to her body, and I'm just like, yeah, I know that. So this is my vibe. It's the aesthetic I'm going for. So, I mean, if I was trying to be proportional, then yeah. But as you can see, I mean, if seen my previous work or, visited my website or my Instagram, you would see that a lot of my work is not proportional because literally proportion is not my thing. Especially you saw my first video of me trying to make her face symmetrical. For the life of me, I can never make my faces symmetrical or, straight up and down on the paper in the center. It's impossible. I literally cannot do it. I just want to thank everyone who is tuned in to watch me create Eve Jean. I'm very proud of this piece. I originally came up with that. I originally saw the inspiration for this piece over a year ago, and then I started creating this piece in December. So it's been a long time coming to be able to do this piece. I'm very proud of it. I really like it. I like the inspiration behind it. So if you haven't seen the first video, please check that out so you can see my inspiration. I just really use a lot of creativity with this piece. It's one of my biggest pieces I have ever made, so I really like how it turned out. And then also feel free to check out my website, check me out on my Instagram page. So yeah, thank you for watching.